There are a lot of things you can say about the NBA, but one thing that nobody can deny is the fact that they're willing to experiment. Ever since Adam Silver took over as commissioner about 10 years ago, he has implemented an award show to announce the MVP, tweaked the All-Star Game format multiple times, introduced an in-season tournament, among other changes. One of the more forgotten projects under Silver's tenure is NBA Top Shot, the NFT platform that the league launched a few years back. After a brief moment where it felt like Top Shot media coverage was everywhere you turned, it's pretty much been abandoned for the better part of 2 years now. So today, we're going to take a look at the rise and fall of NBA Top Shot and try to figure out what went wrong with this once booming platform. This project dates back all the way to July of 2019, where the NBA announced it would be partnering with Dapper Labs to create a first-of-its-kind blockchain game to basketball fans around the globe called NBA Top Shot. For a bit of background on Dapper Labs, they were known as the company who created the first big-time online game that used blockchain technology. The game was called CryptoKitties, and it was essentially a game where you would purchase a one-of-one digital cat that was certified on the blockchain, meaning that the cat is its own unique digital asset that can't be replicated. From there, you were either able to breed new virtual kittens, unlock new features and attributes for your digital pet, among other stuff. The real aspect of the game that caught people's eyes was the potential to sell the cat you originally bought for a profit after a certain period of time. Once the game launched in late 2017, it immediately took off and was an instant hit. While some people did in fact make a ton of money by selling at the right time, the ability to seemingly endlessly breed new kitties eventually saturated the market, bringing down the average value of the digital cats as a whole. Once it was clear that you most likely weren't going to make a profit by playing, there wasn't enough redeeming qualities about it to bring people back, so the game died off fairly quickly. While CryptoKitties was having its massive success, Dapper Labs pitched themselves to the NBA with the hopes of making something similar to appeal towards the industry of sports collectors. I'm sure the league was a bit worried watching the company they were employing to take them into the future of collectibles unsuccessfully sustain what was essentially the same NFT market that they were getting themselves into. Ultimately, the two came together with a plan to tweak the recipe that resulted in the brief success of CryptoKitties, with the hopes that they could create something that becomes more than just a fad. With NBA Top Shot, you would be able to buy, sell, and trade officially licensed moments from the NBA. Each moment was a one-of-one, contained additional information about the game, and also included some artwork alongside it as well. You obtained these moments by either buying them individually on the market, opening packs, or completing challenges, which you can only really complete by opening packs. If you're familiar with My Team in 2K, it's essentially the same thing. There's common, rare, and legendary pack types, and you'd be able to get multiple of the same moment, but they would have a different value if they were rare or legendary because that means they were less in circulation. What was different about them, you might ask? Nothing. It'd be the same highlight, but it would just have slightly tweaked artwork and these additional images that come with the moment. It wasn't like 2K where your diamond card would have better stats, thus giving you an advantage in the game. Essentially, Dapper Labs was creating another game centered around a digital marketplace, but this time, they would have full control of the market, as users wouldn't be able to create moments the same way they could create more kitties. On top of that, this was arguably the most accessible NFT game on the planet, as you were able to purchase these moments with your credit card, on top of the other typical options like Bitcoin or Ethereum. It was released as a private beta in June of 2020, and it was a massive success, generating over $2 million in revenue. On October 2nd, 2020, Top Shot was officially available to the public, and it enjoyed a moderate success through the end of the year. Things really started to take off once we turned the calendar over to 2021 though. On January 15th, Jonathan Bales, who co-founded Fantasy Labs, wrote an article about how him and his team purchased a $35,000 Ja Morant dunk from the marketplace on the site. This also came after all of the hype for the GameStop and AMC stocks, so people were really looking to get in early on the next big thing before it blew up. And you can see it in the data. The amount of activity on the site completely took off. In December 2020, there were 910 unique buyers on the platform. The very next month, there were 19,000. By February of that year, there was 184,000 unique buyers. Absolutely staggering growth. With all of the hype surrounding Web3 and NFTs in general, NBA Top Shot was legitimately the hottest NFT platform in the world during the first quarter of 2021. This time also marked the beginning of many problems that plagued the platform out of relevancy. As more and more people logged on to Top Shot, the platform quite simply wasn't ready to scale at a rate that fast, and it resulted in the site becoming super slow and buggy. On top of that, there was a major issue with how long it took for users to withdraw money from their account. Even though they weren't 100% tied to crypto, they definitely existed in the same universe as it. And one of the main draws of crypto was that it was a fast, digital currency that can be transferred anonymously without having to go through the hoops associated with banks. But with Top Shot, it could take as long as 2 months for people to get their money. Obviously, this was not good for a company that had an influx of new customers coming in to try their product. Also, it seems like Dapper Labs tried to learn from its mistake when they saturated the CryptoKitties market with too much of their product. This time, they initially refrained from releasing more moments to match their massive user base. Since the supply couldn't meet the demand, prices across the board skyrocketed. Back in December 2020, the average price for a moment on the market was about $27. This number increased by 570% by February, as the average price rose to about $181. While this surely garnered a ton of media attention throughout 2021, it priced out a large chunk of their target audience. While I'm sure that there were still some affluent users who followed basketball, the main appeal of Top Shot was no longer the fun, new collectible hobby for the common basketball fan. It was just another online platform where people were investing their money with the hope that they can get a massive return. The fact that it was basketball focused had nothing to do with it. Eventually, Top Shot came around to increasing the supply of moments on the site, and once that happened, the non-basketball fans who were concerned about their profit sold off what they had to get as big of a return as possible. From this point, Top Shot moments lost essentially all of their value on the market, and the only audience left was the core fan base who felt alienated by all this madness. Ever since its incredible bull run, NBA Top Shot sales numbers have consistently trended downwards to the point where they are at the lowest they've been since December of 2020. This has resulted in Dapper Labs going through 3 rounds of layoffs in the last year, getting rid of more than half of their staff. By the looks of things, it seems like Top Shot consists of nothing more than the same users passing around moments until they get sick of the platform and leave. With the resources of Dapper Labs being stretched thinner and thinner due to these layoffs, it's hard to imagine a world where Top Shot ever rebounds to the heights that it once achieved, or even stays around long term for a matter of fact. I think all of this really boils down to the fact that NBA Top Shot doesn't have a compelling offer to incentivize users to use their product for any reason other than potentially making money. The idea of a digital trading card is definitely unique, but getting nothing more than a regular replay of a highlight that is in a million other places online just isn't enough to reel people in. No matter how many different versions and additional game stats they try to provide in this product, it's clear that at the end of the day, what they're currently offering just doesn't properly replicate the feeling of owning a coveted physical sports card. To compensate for that, Dapper Labs tries to do other stuff to create a sense of an online community with their product by hosting Discord channels, watch parties, and meet and greets with NBA players. While all of this is cool and a great way to treat your core customers, it feels like Top Shot is just trying to find any way to provide value to customers who know that their main product isn't enough to keep them interested. And I'm not really sure if they can do it at this point. If there was some way that a user could own something exclusive or unreleased about these moments, like say maybe an exclusive camera angle or something like that, I think there would be at the very least a chance that Top Shot would be able to survive with a niche following long term. But just like CryptoKitties, Dapper Labs seems to have failed in creating enough value with their digital assets to keep users interested in their product. And since nobody's getting rich on Top Shot anymore, I think it's safe to say the platform is as good as dead. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Top Shot has a chance of becoming anything more than just a fad? And do you think it could ever overtake the trading card industry? Be sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video.